Elementary Algebra, Final Assessment 4, Review, Questions 18 through 20, Outcome 4, Applications. Question number 18's instructions reads, solve the problem. Question 18 reads, Linda needs to have her car towed. Little Town Auto charges a flat fee of $80 plus $2 per mile towed. Write an equation in slope-intercept form which is expressed Linda's towing costs, C, in terms of miles towed, X. Find the cost of having the car towed. Well, if you remember, your slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So what we're trying to do is write the cost in the same form as the slope-intercept form. So we're going to put in here the c for the y position. This is the cost. The cost is $2 per mile, or 2 times x, plus a flat fee of $80. We've now created our expression. This is part of the answer. C equals 2x plus 80. The second part asks us to find the cost of having this car towed. So we'll take this expression or equation that we've created and plug in the information we're given. We know that she has to have her car towed a total of 5 miles. So we'll plug that in for our x. So the c is going to equal 2 times that 5 miles plus 80. So we're going to simplify 2 times 5, which creates 10, and then add 80 plus 10 to create 90. So the cost for towing her vehicle is going to be $90. Don't forget to put your dollar sign in. It's part of the unit and it's part of the final answer. Question number 19's instructions follow with the same instructions for 18, which are solve the problem. The question reads, the position of an object moving in a straight line is given by s equals 11t to the second power minus 4t, where s is in meters and t is the time in seconds the object has been in motion. How far will the object move in 18 seconds? So we'll start by copying down the formula given. We have s equals 11t to the second power minus 4t. The t is representing time. We've been told the time is 18 seconds. So we're going to come back in here and plug 18 in wherever we see a t. So 11 times 18 raised to the second power minus 4 times 18. Now let's simplify. So s is equal to 11. Let's take care of the 18 to the second power first, which gives us 324. Carrying down a 4 minus 18. Now we're ready for our multiplication. So we'll take 11 times 324 to get 3,564. Carry down the minus sign. 4 times 18 to get 72. Now we're ready to sum the two together. When we sum the two numbers together, 3,564 minus 72. Now the reason I said sum is because remember, any subtraction problem can be treated as a sum. 3,564 plus a negative 72. So we take this number, subtract the second, and we end up with 3,492. Now we're not quite done with this number, because at 3,492, if you remember, when we go back and read our problem, that s is in meters. So on our final answer, we need to take that 3,492 and add the units meters to the end of it. for our answer to be completely correct. Question number 20's instruction reads, a ladder that is 17 feet long is 8 feet from the base of the wall. How far up the wall does the ladder reach? Whenever you have a problem such as this, it may help to draw a picture. So if we drew a wall, say coming down like so, this is representing our wall. And we also know that our ladder, wherever it is, that's going to be leaning against this wall, we know it's not going to reach all the way to the top, so we'll probably start our line on our way down about here. This is representing, this line coming down is our ladder. One other piece of information we know is that the base of our ladder is 8 feet from our wall. So this is 8 feet. So when we come back to look at the picture that we've actually created, we've drawn ourselves a triangle with a right angle. Well, from previous lessons, we know that a squared plus b squared is going to equal c squared when dealing with a triangle. This means that this wall, this one limb over here, a squared, times this second limb over here, b squared, is going to equal the hypotenuse of this triangle, c squared. So let's plug in the information that we do know. We have one other piece of information here, and that is the length of the ladder. We know that the ladder is 17 feet. So let's plug this information in. We still don't know what a is. It's a squared. But we know that b is the distance from the wall to the bottom of the ladder along that base, which is 8 squared, and that the length of the ladder, which is part of the hypotenuse of our triangle, is 17 squared. So let's simplify this portion. So we get 8 squared plus 64 equals 289. Now we can come in and subtract this 289 off both sides, so that we end up with a squared minus 225. That is a negative 289 summed to a 64. They're opposites, so we actually did a subtraction and kept the negative sign because the larger was negative. Well, in looking at this, we have a squared. If the second term will also square, then we can factor a difference of squares. If you remember the rule that we used previously, where we had a squared minus b squared equals a plus b times a minus b, or the conjugates. So let's look at this. 225 is actually 15 squared. So we have a squared minus 15 squared. So let's use that rule for factoring a difference. So just as a reminder, we'll put it down here. We have factoring a difference of squares gives us the rule a squared minus b squared is equal to the conjugates a plus b times a minus b. So looking here, we have our a squared minus our 15 squared. So we can plug this in, where we end up with an a plus 15 times an a minus 15. Well, this is now factored, but we still need to solve it. So like we did before, we're going to set each of these binomials equal to 0 and solve. So we come down here and have our a plus 15 equal to 0 and our a minus 15 equal to 0. Let's solve the one on the left first. We subtract 15 off both sides. so that we end up finding that A is equal to a negative 15. On the one on the right, let's sum 15 to both sides of the equal sign. So we're left here with A is equal to a positive 15. We've solved both, and we have two answers now, but only one can be correct. Well, whenever we're looking at it, we can't actually have a negative amount of wall. And that's what we're trying to represent by the A, is the amount of the wall, or the height of the wall. So it has to be the positive value. So just by process of elimination, the negative 15 is incorrect. The positive 15 is correct. But we're not quite done there. We also need to add the units. Our previous problems were working in feet, so we need to add feet to our answer. So our final answer is 15 feet.